A very good evening to one and all. I'm Deepak Kumar, and let us introduce ourselves.
This is Raj Kumar.
I'm Rakesh Gupta.
Myself Uday.
And myself, Santosh Reddy Matta.
And today we are going to present our seminar on broadband technology, which is an emerging technology in the field of internet. And before begin, please. And before beginning our presentation, I would like to appreciate all the guys who are presented very beautifully about your respective topics. You're welcome. And coming to broadband technology. What is broadband? Can anybody define? I know there are many people from technology field, but I'm asking this question because of our agenda, you know. What is broadband? Wireless. Yeah. Yeah. And any more? Vishnu?
Anything that has a higher capacity to deliver information is broadband.
Yeah, that's fine. All of your points are correct. Broadband is actually a high-speed, always-on communication, which is capable of carrying voice, data, or video, or any type of medium simultaneously. Actually, the definition may take several parts, but the primary feature of the broadband is its speed. The broadband speed is about 2 megabits per second, and sometimes even more faster. That's the peculiar speciality of the broadband technology. And other features involved in broadband technology are it avoids traditional telephone lines, then it does not use the traditional cabling method which is used in dial-up internet connections, and it is available instantly. And we can stay online with the use of broadband technology for a longer period of time. So these are the main features of broadband technology. And one of the applications that I can give for broadband technology is uploading of files. Imagine a large, a Photoshop file or a, or any PDF file uploading with the broadband, with the traditional dial-up technology. It may take very large amount of hours, or it may take simply it may take large amount of time. But with the use of broadband technology, it takes very shorter frame of time. And an ordinary music file, which can be translated in a few seconds over a broadband technology, will take much more minutes with the dial-up internet connection. Thus, the broadband internet have revolutionized the way we are living and the work as we have never done before. And also, it has opened up undreamt of possibilities. Its potential of possibilities has been growing in an extraordinary pace. We could never have imagined the surgeries and all medical. It's actually one of the applications that I want to say. The surgeries, the major surgeries are being taken place irrespective of the place of the doctor through the video teleconferences and under the supervision of the doctor, who is really very far from the operation theater or the place or the venue where the operation is being taken place. This is one of the example of broadband technology. We can see these type of examples at no end. And also, the broadband technology is becoming more and more accessible, and forecasters predicting that the broadband consumers may exceed about 21 million by the year of 2002. I want to show some statistics that pertain to broadband technology. If you can give a next slide. Yeah, from these statistics it can be seen that 29% of growth rate in the broadband consumers has been seen in the United States from 2004 year to 2005, and China incredibly 90.6%. So here these are some of the statistics that are showing the fast implementation of broadband connection. There is also one more emerging field which is known as optical fiber technology. Even it has started its roots, but there are some delimitations with it. It is very sensitive and it is also very cost effective. But the broadband technology, the growth rate you can see here. And one more slide, the next. Here you can see the factors that are being influencing the adoption of broadband technology. Coming in the group of income rate, the people with $1,000 or more, or the organizations with the income more than $1,000 are adopting to 60, are constituting more percentage of broadband consumers. Coming to education wise, graduate students or PhD students are using broadband technology more. And coming to age wise, 18 to 34 group students are utilizing the broadband services more. So it is clearly evident that broadband technology is growing at a rapid pace, and it is going to overtake it has already overtaken the dial-up connection in many areas, and it will definitely, if there are some, it will definitely overtake. And however, every positive development has its own negative consequences. So as the broadband technology, its limitations and other factors and all of the aspects of the broadband technology will be continued in the coming sections. As of now, I want to pass on the mic to my dear friend Rajkumar Shiva, who will be dealing with the historical background of broadband technology.
Thank you, Deepak. Thank you, everyone. Good evening, everyone. And here I'm Here I'm saying about the historical development of broadband technology or internet. It's a small story behind it. The broadband are replaced by the narrowband dial-up connections, and already Deepak told. And yes, and the internet actually initially started in 1960 as ARPANET, and it is started by a defense under the Defense Academy due to their sharing the information between the computers in their part. And slowly in 1970 there were many computers were being interlinked through certain protocols, and through common protocols to serve government communities. And there were some defaults during that time, and with the advance with the help of NSF, the problems were being solved, and the communication between the computers in the government communities were developed, and this networks to networks has become a name called internet. And in later the NSF has provided a great foundation and financial support to develop the internet, the common networks to develop as a national communication. And this slowly this effort made to have a very cost, and due to the economical support, they were released to the commercial purpose. But most of the commercial people were not permitted. They were stepped back to take this, and this prompted to come to the private organizations where they developed new connections like UUNet and PSINet. In later 1980s, the NFS thought that private organization would develop the internet more better, and it supported the private organization. In that way, more private organizations came. In the later 1990, research from Switzerland developed the World Wide Web, and he said a web is a set of protocols. And after this, it was very in the early 1990, it was taken by the commercial use, and it is used to publish and to access information over the internet. And later it has been used by many private organizations like Prodigy, CompuServe, and American Online experienced explosive growth. In this way, internet has begun, and now it's becoming important and essential. And thank you for this. And the next.
Today I'm going to deal about the working principle of broadband. The name itself says that the broadband is a broad bandwidth connection. It allows a large amount of data to travel. What it carries fastly. and the bandwidth is the amount of data that can fit through it. We express the bandwidth in bits per second. Next slide. If you think of a base band, it is having only one channel to send the information. When you think of a broadband, it has multiple channels so that the data can be transferred fastly. Next slide. How data is transferred from PC to internet? First, the data is transferred from PC to modem in the form of zeros and ones, and then it transferred from modem to splitter, and the data is divided into two parts, that is the voice channel and the ADP, and then it's sent to the local loop, that's nothing but the local telephone line, and then to local exchange, and then to the transmit to ISP, the internet service protocol, and next to another computer. So next one is computer.
Hi friends, and my part is broadband requirements. And first coming to system requirements. The system requirements of for a broadband connection are a processor speed. The processor speed should be minimum of 600 megahertz. And next coming to operating system, it can be Windows 2000, XP or Vista. For Windows 2000, the memory should be of minimum 128 MB of RAM, and whereas for XP and Vista, minimum RAM of 256 MB RAM. And next coming to hard drive, a free space of 150 MB is required. And next coming to network device, a system should consist of Ethernet port or an USB port. And next coming to browser, the internet browser should be of 5.5 plus version. And best example, I will give you how the uploading and downloading of data can be done. Consider a water pipe in your home, which can be connected to a which can be connected to a bigger pipe. The water flows in the small pipe is infinite, even though when it's connected to a big pipe. In the same way, the data transfers in the same way. The broadband provides limited upload capabilities of the data in order to make more space for download capabilities. When coming to commercial, the broadband is primarily sold to the users in order to download only the internet files. As a result, the upload speed is typically 2 to 5 times lesser than downloading speed. Next coming to broadband services, there are 3 broadband services. One is ADSL, that is asymmetric digital subscriber line. And next coming to cable service, and next coming to SDSL, which is symmetric data subscriber line. Now first coming to asymmetric data subscriber line. This is called asymmetric because of the downloading speed is lesser than the uploading speed. So this is called as asymmetric. The speed uniquity makes the technology. This can be used in only residential areas or in a small business areas. And next coming to cable services. Cable TV company provides broadband internet access over their network by building a device called cable modem, which is connected to our PC, and next this connected to network port. From there it can be split to around 350 to 700 customers. And the last coming to SDSL, which is symmetric data subscriber line. This is mostly used in the in large business areas, which can run servers or applications that sends off large amount of data. Here the uploading and downloading speed are same, so it is called as symmetric data subscriber line. And the next part will be continued by my friend Uday.
Good evening, friends. And here are the few broadband applications. Most of these are the commercial applications. And the first one is the telemedicine. actually the telemedicine enables the professional and patients. It's like to take the advantage of the digital connections. Actually, these are from the these are most cost effective, and this can be like the patients can be somewhere else and the doctor can take care of this. As our friend Deepak said, that the most operations these days are taking care of through the consultancies of the superior doctors. They are somewhere in the parts of the cities, and these are most these technologies most useful through broadband in rural areas, because in rural areas where we don't have enough technology, and most doctors as usually will be in a big super specialty hospitals, so they can help in the rural areas through these broadband technologies. And remote reading and monitoring of data generated by devices implanted in patients. This is also can be read through the patients. Like something is some data is implemented in patients. Excuse me. Using video conferencing for a doctor in a distant, I said this location, seeing the patient, and even the doctors can participate in the video conferencing, like two doctors discussing of the instant to be done. And this is very cheap. Telemedicine is a very cheap, and this is very useful for the rural communities. Teleworking is actually teleworking is like it's done through the internet, and it can be done through the home, and most of the jobs people it's like cost effective, and most people can do the jobs in homes. And this like it helps when in the snowfalls or roadblocks and some problems. And telecommuting can be boon to rural and small communities that offer a high quality of life but few high paying jobs. Next is e-government. E-government refers for people. Most of the local government these days are following the like online services. Most of the people like to be through online, because no one wants to stand in the line for longer times to get the government access. So broadband technology should bring some changes to this. And the other one is agriculture. One of the biggest benefits is broadband is in agriculture in the rural areas, where in the buying and sellers, like people can get the regular updates of the goods and services in the market, and they can participate this in the auctions. And televeterinary services and virtual livestock auctions also become possible with broadband. And there is also a scope for improving in the education side through farmers through online, and they can develop these in their crop planning and pest management, etc. And the next one is the distance learning. As distance learning, like irrespective of the ages of the people, whether they old or younger, and irrespective of the geographical locations, people can get education through broadband internet services. And public safety. Broadband networks produce like helps public safeties, like through police and fire engines, and they can save the in any crisis. And same small business assistances. It can even broadband can even help in the small business assistances, where the people in the rural areas get through can get through the business assistance, like they can participate in the online shares, and they can get few knowledge through that. And e-commerce and entertainment, as you know, these are not separate. These are actually like together, and many of us are getting like using the internet for songs, downloading movies, etc., playing games. And the technology is so grown, and it's like developing. Like these days we can get all the games and all these facilities in the mobile services. And the next is benefits of broadband. Broadband is an accelerator of economic and social development. Current generation technologies do not meet the high standards for emerging applications that combine voice, media, and data. Increased work productivity. Next. Job creation, where there are a lot of opportunities through the broadband. The introduction of broadband technologies, including but not limited to DSL, fiber, satellite, fixed, mobile, wireless, has enabled traditional and new forms of communication to become reality through world. More efficient or increased to access to basic services like healthcare education. Healthcare education is an amazing type technology where rural areas especially can get through the medical assistance. Can reduce the challenges of low population density and physical remoteness from cities. And last one is helps bridge the digital and the digital divide. And the conclusion will be. Yeah, excuse.
Yeah. Coming to the limitations, the emergence of broadband technologies with high speed as well as two-way internet access poses a different scenario, which is nothing but providing loopholes to the intruders as well as the hackers, right? High-speed connection also allows the intruders to get in and out faster, which enables them to try out different methods of hacking independently and fastly. The high-speed connection itself makes you more tempting target. While it's unlikely that we give our internet connection 24/7, the hackers can get into your system, and once they get into your system with the broadband technology, they can access your system, they can make your host as an internet server and start their bidding from there. They can also make use of their hard drive as a repository for storing the unwanted or copied, the copyrightless piracy movies or music or any unwanted software. If these copyrights have not been detected by the internet service provider, they may blame you for the copyright infringement and they can cut off the broadband service. These are some of the limitations of the broadband technologies, and one most important limitation included in broadband technology is identity theft. It can be seen in a scenario where most of us pay bills online here and also pay taxes online. For this purpose, there might be files that contain very valuable information such as identity information, social security information, or credit card information. So if this is the case, there is every chance for you to get victim of the target of the identity theft, which is increasingly in common, and in which a thief gathers sufficient information with which the hacker or intruder can access to your bank accounts, and he can use your bank accounts for negative purposes. And conclusion, Shashi. Broadband in its limited form, speed for accessing the internet, it will be used for definitely start to become a mass market during the next 5 years. Broadband is an emerging field and will definitely replace all the existing market with the old dial-up internet connections, such things. The provided speed is already highly enough for accessing the internet. Whether mass market broadband will grow out of these limitations remains to be seen, and will depend very much upon the economic factors and on the question whether new emerging technologies such as optical fibers will take place and whether the users will adopt these new technologies. As I have said earlier, that optical fibers are cost oriented and also they are sensitive. And there is no single product, organization or corporation that can provide a broadband user the full security level while using the internet online. So at this point of time, every broadband user should make a note that they should be aware of the latest threats and security breaches that may happen with them and act accordingly while online. And we would like to conclude our presentation by thanking Dr. Wabi, Murad, and Pete for all the cooperation, and all of you for paying attention so patiently. Thanks a lot.